What's up, guys? Welcome back to It's Me Tinx Live, exclusively on Radio Andy, Channel 102. As always, this is our weekly time to talk to each other with a live Ask Me Anything. I want to talk to all of you right now, so call me. It's 844-305-ANDY. That's 844-305-2639. Good morning. How are we all doing? I'm back in LA, and listen, guys, hell's frozen over. I'm sick of traveling. Jesus Christ, I never want to see another airplane again in my life. And I know, I'm Mrs. catch flights, not feelings. Like, oh my God, I love to be gone. Oh my God, my favorite sleep is in JetBlue seat 1A. Well, guys, a bitch is tired. A bitch is really, really exhausted after a summer of fun. And that's okay. It's okay to be tired after fun things, but I need to sit my ass in one place and just park for a second because holy, I once read that you should never talk about how tired you are and you should never talk about the weather because it's like they're both so boring. But guess what? I'm talking about it. And I also have an unidentified lurgy. I don't know if in America you call it a lurgy, but in England we'd call lurgy when it's just like an unidentified illness. We also used to play a game, which I think is like, what's the American version where it's like, ooh, you have like cooties. Like, is that, no? Okay. I don't know, but like a lurgy would be like, oh, you have lurgy. And it would be like, boys have lurgy or whatever. We'd be like, oh, boys have the lurgy. And if a boy touched you, you would like have it on you. Anyway, the man hating runs deep. Just kidding. And so, yeah, I have an important, exciting week because it's Brian's wedding this week. I am giving a speech. It's probably, no offense to all the other wedding speeches I've given, but the most important one, obviously, because she's like my number one best bitch. A lot of pressure also because everyone's like, hey, you're a writer. And I'm like, that is true. And they're also like, and you're supposed to be kind of funny, so pull it out. And I'm like, okay, let me just condense 15 years of friendship into one 5-minute zinger of a speech. And the thing is, it's like, you know me about this stuff. You know how I feel about this. And Brian does too, so I don't feel weird saying this. If you're a new listener, by the way, my best friend her name is Dina, but I call her Brian. She knows how I feel about this stuff too. I feel it's difficult to sum up how you feel about someone and then perform friendship. And I think that's where I get very confused about a lot of the wedding stuff, because it's like, how do you show that you love someone so much for so long in such a short period of time? And I think as someone who feels very deeply and who feels like words need to have a lot of integrity, I think that's why I have some difficulty with wedding speeches sometimes. But my friend and I were hiking Runyon yesterday, and I gave him the speech to practice. First of all, I was so out of breath, I thought I was going to keel over. If you ever really want to test your speech skills, do it while you're hauling ass up a hill. And he laughed out loud several times, so I feel good about it. And I think, because it's like when you're giving a wedding speech, it's like, is it for the person or is it for the room? And I really tried to strike a balance because I wanted it to be so for her, but then also get some laughs for the room. Because sometimes it's like, you go to a wedding and people will do a speech and it's so insidery jokes that you're like, I have no concept of what you're talking about. But I don't mind those because it's really just like a love letter between the friends, in that sense. And then sometimes it's so vague, the ones that are just like, well, they're a great guy and they're a great girl and love is forever. Love is like an ocean. And you're like, yeah, sure. Like that works too. I love that. Let's talk to Isabel in Texas. Hi. Whoops, sorry. Hi, how are you?
Oh my gosh. Tinx, can you hear me?
I can hear you, girl. Thanks for hanging on. What's up?
Wait, this is so fun. Okay, first off, I love you. Your style is amazing. I'm obsessed.
Thank you. That's so nice. I appreciate you. You're so sweet. Thank you. What a great first caller. We can just honestly end the call there. That's amazing. Okay. I'm just kidding. What's going on?
Okay, so it's my Nana's 82nd birthday.
Oh.
And I just wanted to get some ideas. Like, what should I get her?
Oh my gosh. That's a really cute question. Let's see. What is a good idea? I mean, I always like a gift that's meaningful. You could do something that's like kind of time intensive. You could go around to all of her kids and her grandkids and have them like say a memory of her or like their favorite thing about her and like stitch it together and make a video. I feel like grandparents are always really impressed with like technology or videos, and then she could watch it or something like that. We got my grandmother an iPad a while ago. I don't know if she has one already, but like that is just about her favorite thing, and we like loaded all these shows on it for her so that she just had it, and we got her like a little stand which went over really well. Honestly, I feel like grandparents just really love spending quality time too, so you could do like 3 little vouchers, like going out to breakfast, going to a movie, like whatever she likes to do with you, and then she can kind of, you know, call you when she wants to cash one in. I just feel like they just want to spend time with us, which is just so cute and so happy.
Those are really good ideas. Okay, maybe I'll go around because she is obsessed with her kids, so I'll get a note from everyone. That's a good idea.
Just compile them, a little video. It'll go over really well.
This is so fun. I just want you to know that I'm in my office. I closed the door.
I'm dead.
Bailey, I want to shout out Bailey. She's in like the office 5 away from me, and we're obsessed with you. And whenever she listens back to this at like 2 p.m., she's going to freak out.
Don't tell her. Let's have it be a surprise. Shout out Bailey. We love a work wife. Work wives make us like literally live. I would die without my work wives. So we love you, Bailey. I hope you guys have a good office culture. I hope you take lots of breaks, and I hope there's free food from time to time.
Totally. Okay, well, I'll let other callers talk to you, but thanks so much, Tinx. Love you.
Love you so much. Have a good one. Bye, babe. Oh, what a cutie. Oh my God. My grandmother is 93. My mom's with her right now in Florida. I love her so much. She's just such a cutie. She just leased a new car. She was like, I think you should get a Lincoln Corsair for your next car too. And I was like, I will think about it. I don't know if I need to be cruising the streets of LA in a Lincoln Corsair. Mad respect to all the Lincoln owners out there. But guys, my lease is actually up and I need to get a new car. And I know I've asked you before, and I don't want to be an asshole. That's so annoying. And I want to recognize and acknowledge that I've asked the community about 3 different times what car I should get. The problem is it really is all over the place what you guys are telling me to get. And I don't know. I have a Range Rover Velar right now. And it was like, I don't want to jinx it because I literally have to give it back next week. But when I say this is the worst car I've ever had in my life, like both in terms of, I think it was like they call it a lemon, right? Both in terms of that. And then the luck that I've had, like I've gotten rear-ended 4 times in this 3-year lease, 4 times. And do you guys remember when my car got totaled when I wasn't even in it, when it was parked on my street and a drunk driver came and totaled my car and had no consequences, and I just had to like pay to have my car rebuilt. I was like, how is this even possible? But anyway, if anyone has a good thing, and don't say Bronco because I'm saving the Bronco for when I have my dream house and I don't fucking know where, Malibu or the Hamptons, and I can get the old one. I want the old one and I want it to be cutums. You know what I mean? I don't know. Should I just like fully embrace LA life and get like a G-Wagon? I don't know. I just don't see myself in a G-Wagon at all. Like, first of all, they also look so tall. You know, I feel like I would need a step stool to get into it. Okay, Brittany. What's up, Brittany? How are you doing? What's going on?
Oh, I'm so excited to talk to you, Tinx. My therapist appointment is usually during this time, but it was rescheduled this week, so I'm really excited to talk to you, my other therapist.
Perfect. Oh my gosh, that is the nicest thing ever. I'm so glad that you have a therapist that you love, and thank you so much for calling. What's going on?
Okay, well, I wrote this out because I'm going to try to make it succinct for you, and try to keep it light, even though it's kind of a heavy topic. So anyway, my ex-boyfriend and I broke up like a year ago, and it was largely because he started saying some like really mean things about my history and like my dating life from before we even knew each other. Like he forced me to tell him some details about like my number, which I know like doesn't matter and is so crazy, and like would pass all kinds of judgment around like how many guys I'd hooked up with and whatever. And it was just like really toxic. So anyway, he would get all upset with me and say things like, I can't believe you would let men who were like not your boyfriend do XYZ with you.
Oh my God.
And then he would calm down. This is the key to the actual question. So he would calm down and then say things like, in a very therapist-y way, be like, it's okay. You did those things because your dad wasn't in your life as a child, so you were just seeking validation from men through hookups. I know, it's really fucked up, and like this is among many reasons like why we're not together anymore.
Yeah.
But my question, so I am admittedly like a pretty sexual person, so yeah, like sometimes I do feel like hooking up with people like on the first or second date as long as it's safe. And like before my ex-boyfriend, I was never ashamed of that. Like if I made that choice, I never felt like I was seeking validation. Like I was very good about being cognizant of like and choiceful about what I was doing.
Yeah.
But recently I do feel like now that I'm dating again, and like if I ever do like want to put myself in that situation where I like want to get physical with someone, I have started like feeling his words about like seeking validation, like coming into my consciousness for some reason. And it's weird because we've been broken up for like a year, and I'm like very much like I felt like I was pretty over it, but I'm having a lot of like self-judgment about this. And so I'm just wondering if you have any advice or like shifts on how to get myself out of this like negative self-talk.
Yeah.
Where this is like seeping into my belief system.
I think it's important to really break down why your ex was saying those things, and it's because he's insecure. And you know what I say, there's nothing more dangerous than an insecure man. And it's like, this is exactly why, right? They're insecure. They're dangerous for a bunch of reasons, but this is a prime example, because an insecure man will feed his insecurity to his girlfriend or partner or wife or whatever, and she will internalize it. She will actually onboard his insecurity and take it on as a problem of her own. Like you said, you had no issue before. You're a sexual person. That's amazing. You like to have casual sex. Sometimes you like to have sex on the first date. Who cares? It's your body, and you said you're safe, and as long as you wanted to do it, that is your God-given right, okay? It is your body. It's your choice. And I just hate that he's gotten in your head in this way, and it's all because of insecurity. So I think what I would try to do is create a new neural pathway, and every time you have those thoughts sink into your head, you're thinking, ooh, like, is this because of, my dad or blah, blah, blah. Say, stop, Control-Alt-Delete, replace, my ex was very insecure and tried to give me his insecurity and tried to control me via his insecurity to try and make him feel better, all of which is fucking wrong. So that's what I would try to do, is really, really replace those neural pathways so that it doesn't become fact in our head. It's scary how quickly something can become fact in our head, right? If, someone tells us something about ourselves, we don't believe it, but then we keep replaying it in our head, and then all of a sudden it becomes fact. And that is really, really scary. So we cannot let that happen with you. You are amazing. You are sexual. You know yourself better than anybody else. You live your life how you want to live it. Do not allow this insecure man's attempts to control you fuck up your life.
That is so helpful. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, you gotta Control-Alt-Delete, replace those neural pathways. I'm so sorry that he did that. That's really fucked up.
No, I appreciate it. Sorry. I don't like usually talking about it, but no, that's really great to hear, because, and honestly, like last year when I was like trying to figure out, because like when you're in one of those situations, it's really hard to see it when you're in it. And I feel like if you remember the girl who I was going through like trying to figure out if I needed to break up with him during the same time that girl who called and told you about, like the guy who, I remember it so vividly, like the guy who called her ex-boyfriend suspects.
Yes. Oh my God. So
that, like,
scary.
Legendary call.
Yeah.
And it was like right around that time. And honestly, like your answers to her like really helped me like realize we needed to like end it. So anyway, sorry.
No, you're okay. I wish I could hug you right now. It's really hard when you're in it sometimes. I always use the example of the frog in the boiling water. If you throw a frog into boiling water, it'll jump out. But if you put a frog in room temp water and you slowly bring it to a boil, it will boil alive. And it's like, that is what it's like to be a woman with a really insecure man. And it's scary how it will just erode our confidence and just, it will just erode our livelihood, ourselves, our personalities. And I just am so glad that you heard that call. I'm so glad you called today, because you know what, babe? You saying this is going to inspire someone else who's trapped in some, toxic relationship. Their boyfriend is talking down to them, talking bad to them. They're going to hear you and how you're a year out and now you're getting stronger and you're working through it in therapy and all that. So you've inspired someone out there today. I just know it. And you're really brave. And I want to thank you for calling.
Well, thank you for answering. I appreciate it. No, that was really helpful advice. And it was really nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you. Lots of love, babe. Big hug. Oh, my heart absolutely breaks for her. But it's true, you guys. You really have to be so vigilant. And I mean, I wrote about it in my book too. And everybody goes through it to some degree. I think it's, hopefully it's short and it's like a learning curve. But it's like, 1 second you're just obsessed with this guy. And then the next second you're like, I mean, the example I always give is that like I switched my car with, my boyfriend at the time had a smart car and I had a nice car. I had a big like SUV in San Francisco and he was like, well, you should give me your car and you drive my smart car. And I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And he made like triple the amount of money I did, and how I would like cook dinner for him every night, which isn't in itself bad, but it was just like he would text me at 4 p.m. each day and would be like, I want to eat this type of chicken tonight. You need to cook this for me. And I was like, okay, well, that's normal. And then it just goes and goes and goes and goes. And then all of a sudden you're in a fucked up situation. So be vigilant. We're going to take a super quick break, but I want to talk to all of you. If you're on the line, stay on the line. You want to join the conversation. It's 844-305-ANDY. This is me, Tinx Live. I will be right back.